and welcome to Unsolicited Relationship Advice with Eliana Camargo. I'm going to be reading posts on Reddit asking for relationship advice, so I guess it's not all that unsolicited, but I'm going to be giving my armchair psychologist opinion on what they should do. Because I love romance more than anything in the world. I'm so excited for this. And yes, I'm wearing a wig today. But anyway, without further ado, let's get into the first post. Girlfriend wants to wait until marriage to have sex, despite recently having sex during our break. Been with my girlfriend for almost 2 years. Things have been pretty good in our relationship. Her family met my family and vice versa, get along well with both parties. My family likes her family and vice versa, and it just seems to be an overall match between us. Didn't he just say that? He just said vice versa twice. Don't want to get this too long, so I won't go into too many specifics. We're both 30. At the beginning of our relationship, my girlfriend said that she wants her next relationship to lead to marriage, and that she only wants to have sex with her next partner, her husband, after they're married. She was very particular about this, and I don't mind. Why don't you mind? Side note, whole other topic. I mind for you. We are nearly 2 years in, and we're currently getting the engagements planned out and hoping to get married next year. Well, we got into an argument, and she made a snap decision during her PMS. She gets extremely emotional and aggravated during her cycle, that she wanted to take a break and figure out her feelings. I was annoyed that it even crossed her mind, but I told her I understood and would let her figure things out. So is this like a friend situation? Like, are we allowed to date other people during the break? Since I'm close with her family, and her mom said that she would talk to her, and agreed that her daughter overreacted. So her family sat down with her, talked things out, and fixed the situation. My girlfriend and I were communicating here and there during the time, but the process took about 2 weeks. On the 3rd week, it's when we really started talking and getting back into things. We also agreed to do premarital counseling just to make sure that we're on the same page, and she is now going to therapy to help her work out any resolved issues. I applaud that. Applaud all of that. However, after we got back together, she disclosed to me that she had sex with an old F-buddy during our break. She said she had a moment of weakness, and she wasn't sure if we were going to get back together or not after our argument, and made a rash decision. I was floored and in disbelief and inquired about the details. She mentioned to me that a week after our argument and feeling sad, she was in the mood and contacted her old F-buddy. She told me her F-buddy was a guy she used to see on and off between relationships, and was a guy she would only have sex with and nothing more. She said since she built trust with him, felt safe with him, and wanted to keep her body count low. Body count is irrelevant. It means nothing. It literally means absolutely nothing. Does it matter if you had sex one time with 20 people or 20 times with one person? It doesn't. There's no difference. Okay. Anyway. She knew him for 5 years and would cut him off when she got into relationships. She said that she went over to his house and they watched TV together and talked. One thing led to another, and they had sex. Got even more curious, against my better judgment, and asked if she used a condom with him, and she said she didn't. I don't like this chick. Always use condoms. Always use protection. Unless you're in a long-term committed relationship with someone where you've both agreed that you're monogamous and you've gotten STD tests before and you're using some other form of protection, always use condoms. Why is it so hard? She said when they used to have sex, and since she built trust with him, she wouldn't use one with him and would just get Plan B. It gets worse. If you're not going to use condoms, at least make sure you're on birth control or you pull out, not just... Okay. Plan B is Plan B for a reason. It is not to be used as your normal form of contraception. She told me this a few days ago, and it has really been a blow to my ego and our relationship. While I do forgive her since she did this while on break, I'm not sure about marriage anymore, especially since she is still saying that she wants to wait until marriage to have sex with me. Woo! Okay, that's... That one's a doozy. I feel you. I feel you, man. All of this is next level. So I personally don't believe in waiting until marriage. I think it's the most ridiculous thing in the world, but I respect if someone else is waiting until marriage, especially if it's for religious reasons, yada yada. But it sounds like it's not for religious reasons and she's just doing it for herself, which again, totally fine if you're just doing it for yourself. But like, how do you have an F buddy, yet you're waiting till marriage with your, like, make it make sense. That's the red flag right there. Is not even just why. Okay, so I feel like my opinion will be biased because I just don't believe in waiting until marriage. But if you are, you should be waiting for marriage, you know? So like, I would ask her, you know, he doesn't say here, but if I was in a relationship with her, I would ask her why she's waiting till marriage and kind of get to the root of what's important about that to her and why that doesn't apply to the F-buddy that she has between relationships. You know, a part of me does understand where she's coming from because I feel like, me personally, if I'm dating someone who I could actually see a future with, I would want to wait, not till marriage, but till, you know, past the third date. But if I'm dating someone that I don't see a future with, then I'm like, I can use this to fulfill that desire with someone that I don't really care about that much on that emotional level. Like, I kind of get it from that perspective, but I just don't understand the whole waiting till marriage thing. So yeah, I would just communicate with her how it makes you feel, how it's ridiculous, and that, like, why is this thing so sacred and special? I just think it's so freaking important to, you know, sex is a huge component of a relationship. And you need to see if you're compatible in that way before you commit your life to them. Like, sex isn't just some throwaway thing that, like, whatever, we'll make it work. There's always ways you can make it slightly better, but there's only a level of how much better you can make it if you're not compatible in many different ways. So yeah, I don't think it's a complete deal breaker, this situation, but I would explain how this made you feel and ask her why it's so important for her to wait until marriage and really get to the root of that and see if you can kind of come to some consensus. And what I'm probably going to say to all these people, get a relationship counselor. Was this the one where he said he was going to get one? So they did say they're going to get premarital counseling and that she's going to therapy, and I think this could be hugely helpful in this situation. But yeah, that's my 2 cents. Let's read the comments. Run from this relationship. You're wasting your time and she will make you miserable. A healthy relationship isn't this difficult. Everything you wrote is a red flag. I semi-agree. I feel like I'm someone who's so quick to, when people are telling me their relationship issues, that I'm like, just get out of it. Just jump out of that relationship. But I'm getting to a place where I understand that relationships are here to help us grow and help us. They're supposed to trigger us and make us overcome obstacles. And that there is some merit in working through issues rather than just quickly jumping out of every little dilemma that comes up. But of course, break up if it needs to be. But I don't know. I see a lot of issues, but I don't know if this is necessarily breakup worthy. Maybe delay marriage worthy. And have sex before marriage. If OP marries this person, there's a high chance that anytime they would have intimacy issues, she will run to her side piece to have sex. Maybe. OP, run! This whole post was a huge red flag. You don't have to thank us. It will be enough to just listen and to have a happy life. There's a verified crisis counselor. OP's post history is concerning. He admits he turned to the red pill a few years ago after his previous girlfriend left him. What's the red pill? And the number of times he's posted about this past scenario here / related scenario since May with his current partner is extensive. At least 20 posts, if not more. The majority of his post history is in purple pill debate. I don't know what that is. Which I don't know how much about. Most of his posts there involved him leaning heavily on red pill rhetoric. What does that mean? Ooh, I had a feeling. So red pills are like alpha bros, where you simultaneously devalue women, yet define your own personal worth by your ability to attract women. and blue pills are generic feminism. I'm just not into any of that. I don't like this guy. If he's a red piller, I'm not into the red pills. Someone thinks it's fake when he said she wanted to keep her body count low because women don't say those things, and that's an incel thing to say. I have heard women say that, though. I personally don't think that body count even matters. It's like, how many breaths have you taken in your lifetime? We don't keep count, okay? Still keep count, but it doesn't matter. No one has to know. I don't think that this situation in and of itself is grounds for breaking up. It could get close. It depends on how the conversation goes, especially because they're going to premarital counseling and therapy and everything. That's amazing. But first step, communicate about your emotions and why she's waiting till marriage and how this is different, and then go from there and potentially break up. Okay, this I think for sure is going to be our last one because I want to read it because it's about babies. This one has an update. Before we've even read it, there's an update. Reddit! Is that why it's called Reddit? Because I read it on Reddit. I just now put that together. It is 2022. I just now put that together. Let's read the original post. I, 23 male, am currently in the labor and delivery ward at our hospital with my girlfriend, 23 female. She's being induced tonight, and her mother is causing serious problems in the room. Not sure how to proceed. I love how he's here in the hospital with his girlfriend in labor, and he's like writing out this novel on Reddit, which I understand. You spend a lot of time there, but it's funny how long this is. So, I should preface this by giving a bit of background. My girlfriend is 38 weeks pregnant and is being induced. Already started tonight. I'm curious why she's being induced at 38 weeks, but we've been dating for 3 years, coming up on the 15th. Her mother has never liked me, ever since the beginning. I smoke pot, and she's a pretty conservative person, so this does not fly with her. My girlfriend also smokes, but it's much more casual than me and enjoys edibles more. We've had our fair share of relationship issues, which I won't get into much, but her mom knows about most of the issues. Why are edibles better than smoking? Just because, like, lungs? I don't know why they'd be okay with her mom, but not smoking. So we get into this room tonight, and her mom is joining us along with her brother. We get into the room, and I haven't made much conversation with her. I haven't seen her in probably 2 years. We get settled, and her brother leaves, as this first night isn't supposed to be eventful. Nothing crazy happens at this point. However, when the nurse leaves the room, she keeps pressing that I should leave. You're the baby daddy. Why would you leave? I told her that no, I was not going to leave. I told her that my girlfriend told me that she wanted me here, and I wanted to be here for my child. Yeah, it's weird that the nurse isn't telling the mom to leave, but she's telling you to leave. You're literally the baby daddy. When the nurse left, she at first got up to leave as she did not want to share the room with me overnight. As in, your girlfriend left? However, when she was about halfway across the room, she basically blew up. To summarize the tantrum that unfolded, she called me a pedophile for sleeping with a 15-year-old, not true, called my sexuality disgusting, and told me some disgusting homophobic terms I won't repeat, but queer was one of them, called me a bum because I didn't have a job for the last 2 months. I was fired in July and was working by the end of August and have been working since. Threatened to call the police/report me to her police chief of the county neighbor. Threatened to post this on Facebook. Okay, Karen. Called my mother an alcoholic. She's not. And threatened to take away my child and make me pay child support. So obviously completely thrown back, she was basically on rapid fire insult mode and wouldn't stop. I told her she was being incredibly mean, and her only response was, "It's true." I'm literally speechless. My girlfriend, her daughter, was practically in tears because she wanted her to stop. Her mom literally didn't care. At the end of her tantrum, she said, "I will make your life a living hell," and decided to stay and sit closer to me. Narcissistic mothers! What the fuck? The last words to me at this point was that I was immature for playing a video game, Pokemon Sun 3DS, during this. I told her she's been on her phone this entire time, and that my girlfriend brought her Nintendo Switch console to play games. And that brings us to now, where I'm sitting in the room with both of them, writing this post. Oh, that's uncomfortable. I can see why you're on your phone this whole time now. To distract you from the vibes. I honestly don't know how to navigate this, and I'm afraid that her mother is bullying her into making decisions. And when her mother was asking me/her about staying, she looked genuinely scared. My girlfriend told me that I could leave if I wanted to in a low voice. I'm not going to leave her here with this abusive parent. I'm just not sure what to do now. Is there anything that can be said to hospital staff? Is that something I should do? I'm here for my girlfriend and my child, not to fight with her mother. I'm just in awe that she finds her behavior acceptable. Oh, well, this one's long. Small update. Girlfriend is still being induced. However, her mom left the hospital last night around 2 a.m. after she was just talking to her mom about sleeping. I was laying down on the couch and she's in a chair. She got pissed and updated that a 52-year-old woman doesn't get to sleep on the couch. Even when I told I would move, she got pissed off at my girlfriend. She told her that, you seem like you don't know what to make up your mind. You really need to say what you want. I basically told her afterwards that it's me or him, and you can't have both. Which is ridiculous. People have both their mother and their boyfriend/spouse in the room at the same time. I literally couldn't believe she was trying to bully her daughter into not letting me in the hospital. But her mom left and said, I don't know when I'm coming back. Oh my God. She ended up coming back in the morning around 7:30 a.m. and has been here since. I was asleep from about 6 to 1, so I haven't heard any more nonsense yet. I plan on recording if she ends up blowing up again and doing what the commenters suggested. What did the commenters suggest? Small update number 2. I left the hospital this afternoon as the nurse said nothing was going to happen, and my girlfriend suggested I go home and get lunch, relax a little, and come back. When I returned, her mother used my absence as ammo, claiming that I wasn't being supportive, and she's been in extreme pain and I haven't been there for her. My girlfriend was aware of everything I was doing, mostly sleeping throughout the day, so nothing of note happened. She also used the fact I was sleeping, God forbid, as ammo that I didn't care about her. Okay, can we fast forward? Wait, in the past, she had called the police because my house was a drug house. The police came, we talked, they did a walkthrough with me and my father's consent and found nothing of note. This was noted by the officers as a false report, and if they were called again, they would investigate her. I lived in a different county, 4 hours away at the time, around 2 years ago, so I'm unsure of what would have happened. Mom is crazy! I spoke to the nurses about the situation, and I was told since we aren't married, I have very little say in the situation unless she is causing a giant issue. That leads me to people who don't believe in marriage whatsoever. This is one reason why. This is probably the biggest reason why. Okay, let's go to the update. Other post update. So I guess this is update 3, after the baby's born. So the update isn't the best one, but I figured I'd ask for advice again. Around 12 a.m. yesterday, my girlfriend was given an epidural and was put into labor. She had to have an emergency C-section, and our baby was born around 4 a.m. He's beautiful and wonderful, and I'm so happy he's here. As for the situation with her mother, a few hours before this, the nurses approached both of us in the room and said that if any more drama occurs, we would both be removed from the hospital. Dun dun dun. After he was born, I got to hold him some, and we were moved into the postpartum room around 3 hours after his birth. From there, he was sent to the NICU. His blood sugar was low. By the morning, he was released, so all is well with the baby. However, my girlfriend told me that my behavior scares her. She told me that she feels I care more about the legal stuff with the baby than with the situation. I told her that wasn't true. I have a hard time with communication with her, but the gist is that I was asking about the birth certificate yesterday instead of asking how she was. I apologized for this today. I guess what I'm really looking for help with is what my girlfriend's mom suggested. She suggested that she take my girlfriend and the baby to her house for 2 weeks after she's released. Her reasoning for this is that our dog would rip open her stitches. This savage dog just runs over and starts gnawing. No. I told her this concerned me as her mom would not allow me to stay there with her, and I would only be able to make visits. I feel this time with my son is very important, and he needs both his parents around at the time. I made sure I wasn't working for the next week or 2, and I have our place completely prepped for her. Her mom also has a dog and 8 cats. I believe it's just as dangerous there. The mom has 8 cats. Nothing wrong with having 8 cats, but combined with who the mother is, it just makes sense. It just makes sense! I have expressed my concerns, and my girlfriend basically told me that she'd just think about it. I'm not going to press her for her input, but I feel that this again is less about my girlfriend and the baby and more about keeping me away. She hasn't said much, but has made comments about random things like me staring at her breastfeeding, or about how she's the only one supporting my girlfriend and the baby. Okay, update number 4? Early this morning, while I got here at 8, my girlfriend's mom was asleep and my girlfriend went to the bathroom. She spent 15 minutes in there crying. She texted me that her stepfather, who raised her from the age of 10 onwards, would disown her and stop helping financially if he had my last name. She ended up waking up her mom, and her mom called a nurse and blamed me for her crying. When asked, Megan, oh, now we have a name. When asked, Megan told the nurse it wasn't my fault, but she didn't want to talk about it. We signed the birth certificate today. During this, they were going over the information with us, and they asked if we lived together. We do. And my girlfriend was trying to avoid the question by saying he's on the lease. Does your girlfriend like you? Which her mom pressed her for a better answer. I told her just tell the nurse yes or no, and she said yes. This made her mother very upset. Oh, she's just trying to appease the mother by saying he's on the lease. Okay. She even tried to claim as a witness that I did not sign it and that it should be invalid. Final update. In the hospital now, my girlfriend texted me and told me that she wanted to come home and explained that to our mom. In retaliation, she left immediately as I got there, told my girlfriend that she wasn't going to be home, so don't come over, and accused me of bringing alcohol into the hospital and calling me a liar when I told her what was in the cup I left at the hospital. I'm sick of this mom. We're going home soon as she's discharged, and we'll figure out what will happen from here on. My girlfriend told her mom's collecting evidence against me, whatever that means, but I'm happy it's over for now. That was a headache. I'm so sorry that was both of your guys' birth experience. That sounds so fucking traumatic. Birth is already traumatic as it is, and her having to be induced early and then having an emergency C-section, dealing with the mom's drama on top of that just sounds absolutely awful. I don't know what the advice is that I would give in this situation. It's so hard. Other than talking to the girlfriend and asking, like, do you like your mom? Do you want a relationship with her? And it's so hard when it's your in-laws. I know they're not married, but we need a term in English for when you're just in a relationship, your partner's parents. Because if the girlfriend is willing to just cut the mom out of her life, please do that. Please do that. You don't need someone who's a liar and toxic and just horrible in every way to be in your life or to be in the baby's life. But I understand that this is the boyfriend. And now you have a child together. It's so hard. I would ask, like, how much do you really love your girlfriend? Do you actually want to be with her? Maybe just co-parent or something. Not actually be with her as you're not in the life. But they have a baby now. It's important to consider what's best for the baby. But if need be that you... I honestly don't know what advice I would give. This is just tough. This is really tough. I think a huge part of what advice I would give relates to how he feels about his relationship with his baby mama and his girlfriend. That if he really loves her, then obviously they can make it work out. Hopefully the girlfriend becomes strong enough to cut her mom out of her life. A tiny part of me is like, maybe there's some reason why the mom hates the boyfriend so much and he's like not a good influence in the girl's life. I have a feeling they're not going to last forever. I don't know why I have that feeling. I don't know these people. But let's see what the comments have to say. People talking about the cats jumping on her stomach. One comment says, God, I sometimes feel like we should have a class in school that teaches people how to set boundaries with each other. Yes. I always say this. We need to have like psychology classes and interpersonal relationship classes and emotional processing classes and just all of that growing up in school, because clearly we can't trust our parents to teach us this. OP should have taken that lesson and set boundaries with her mother-in-law and asked the girlfriend to do the same way before the child came into the world. I mean, they weren't talking for 2 years, so if he did that, he wouldn't have had these kinds of issues now. It's not that simple. If I was at his place right now, I would ask, who are the parents of the child? 2 of us or you and your mother, implying that she has to choose. Your girlfriend has to go to a therapist ASAP. Getting a lawyer and pursuing 50-50 custody when the lawyer says the time is right. Yeah, I'm kind of agreeing. Yeah, there's no way to appease the mom. I feel bad for them because it's so tricky. Pretty much the only thing you can do is hope that your girlfriend is strong enough to set firmer boundaries with her mom and realize that her mom's kind of fucked up. But part of me wonders if her girlfriend is starting to believe her mom that this guy is not good for her and the baby, which I definitely don't think the mom's good for the baby, but it's possible this guy has some issues. Like, they might feel like they're not long-term compatible. They're only 23. Yeah, I'd assess how, if boundaries with the girlfriend and her mom doesn't work, I would assess how much do you really want to be in a relationship with her, and maybe just co-parenting instead. But even then, mom will still probably be in your life. You know what the moral of the story is? Use condoms! So that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching me give advice to random strangers on Reddit. If you want the tea on my love life, I made a video oversharing about my love life while putting temporary tattoos all over my body. So click right here if you want to watch that, and click right here if you want to watch another one of my old videos. I'm sending you all of my love. Bye.